YouTube. Hello YouTube, example 100,000 here, with another Pokemon Showdown beta battle. So this is really good now. Pokemon Showdown have now updated so that they have the replay function with a play button so that I don't need to click it and then immediately move it in front of the screen and get everything confused and just messy. And they've also got a pausing function and a speed, so I can go slower, faster to my liking and not be so rushed. So let's get into this battle. So I lead off with my Scarfster Raptor. He leads off with his Tornadus. I go straight for the Brave Bird, thinking that I could just do lots of damage to the Tornadus. It turns out that his Tornadus outspeeds me, so his Tornadus is definitely scarfed. So now I have to switch out because I can't do anything to Jirachi. I go into the Politoed expecting to take a Body Slam well. Instead, no, he has a Thunder and he gets a critical hit. At least he doesn't get the Parahax. And I get to Hydro Pump and do lots of damage to it. So now I'm predicting a Water Pulse, just thinking that he'd change up some moves, but instead he just goes for a Thunder again. And he paralyzes my Toxicroak, which kinda sucks, but it doesn't really come into play this battle, which is great. So I Sucker Punch to kill off the Jirachi. Now he comes into with his Gyarados, right? And since there was no Intimidate, I thought he'd be a Scarf Moxie variant, so I go straight for the Sucker Punch. But he's actually a substitute one. So I'm like, okay, substitute, that means he definitely has a Dragon Dance, and that's gonna be a real threat. So I go straight for the Ice Punch, and luckily I break its sub, which is great. So now he knows that I can break its sub, so he has to attack me. So I was thinking, okay, so he has sub and he has Dragon Dance. He must have Waterfall, because he's in a rain team and he's a water type. And he must also have Earthquake or Bounce or something like that. So I'm like, okay, I'll just leave it in. Toxicroak won't be that useful this battle. Let's just see what he has. So he has the Earthquake, and easily takes out my Toxicroak, of course. So now coming with my Rotom Wash, I go straight for the Volt Switch, knowing that he has a Jolteon, but in case he decides to predict something, I just had to go for the safer option and go for the Volt Switch. So now he makes a weird switch, he goes into Ferrothorn. I'm like, okay, Ferrothorn. Why didn't you go into Jolteon? It was a real wonder. So my Staraptor is scarfed, as I said before. I go straight for the close combat, trying to kill that Ferrothorn, but he goes for a Protect. I'm like, okay, a Protect. That means he's gonna predict the close combat is not gonna want to take it. So he's gonna want to go to Gyarados. So I go straight into Rotom Wash. But that's not the case, he goes for Spikes. So I'm like, okay, that's really weird. I gotta get out of there. So I Volt Switch out again. And go into my own Ferrothorn. So I'm like, okay, that Ferrothorn can't do anything to me, and I'll just set up my rocks. So that's exactly what I do. I set up my Stealth Rocks while he goes into Gyarados. So I know that Gyarados can't do anything as substitute Dragon Dance, Earthquake, and Waterfall, which I can easily take. So I just go for the Power Whip, and luckily I'm able to break its sub. So now he goes for another substitute. I go for another Power Whip. Luckily I don't miss. I think he was hoping that I miss or something so he could get up a Dragon Dance. But he knows that he can't really do anything. He just goes into Ferrothorn. And I missed the Power Whip, which is actually beneficial for me. Otherwise I would have taken Iron Bob's damage and hurt myself more than I would have hurt it. So I go back into my Staraptor and go for the close combat again. And he protects to scout it again, so I'm like, okay, I'll just go for it nonetheless. And he stays in, takes around half, 52% damage, and then I die from the Iron Bobs and from the Rocky Helmet. So now I go into my Landorus, go for the Earthquake, and take out that Ferrothorn easily from that range. So now he goes into his Gyarados, probably thinking I'm Scarfed, but no, I'm an expert belt, and I go for a Stone Edge and kill that Gyarados, no problems. So now he goes into a Jolteon, I'm predicting the HP Ice, so I go into my Rotom Wash to easily take that, and that's exactly what he goes for, which is great. So now I know he's going to switch because there was no Life Orb recoil, that means he has to be Specs. So now I know that he can't stay in because HPI won't really do anything. So now I make a really ballsy prediction and I go for the Volt switch on that Jolteon, which catches the Politoed on the switch, gets a crit and kills it. I'm pretty sure that crit actually mattered, so that kind of sucks for him. So now I go into my Politoed. I thought that since it's a double down, we would both go in with a Pokemon and then I'd be able to scout what he brings in, but that's not the case. My Politoed just dies. So now he brings in this Tornadus. I just bring in my Ferrothorn to paralyze it, which is great because I know it's the Scarf Tornadus. So now that it's paralyzed, that's great. Of course, he still outspeeds me with the Focus Blast and kills off my Ferrothorn. That's fine. Now I'm predicting a Jolteon switch because I know that he's locked into Focus Blast, right? So I'm like, okay, if Focus Blast won't do much, he has to switch to Jolteon. So I go for the Earthquake, and no, he stays in and just goes for the Focus Blast. So I know, okay, this guy's just staying in. I'll go for the Stone Edge, and sure enough, he stays in and I kill. So now he brings in his Jolteon. I know his specs, and if he goes for the HVIs, he'd easily kill the Landorus, but it won't kill my Rotom Wash. So he goes for the Shadow Ball, and no, that doesn't kill me, and I go for the Earthquake for the game. So that was a great play, great game. I made some really good predictions that I'm really happy about, and also I'm very happy about this new Pokemon Showdown Simulator replay function, which is really good. A lot improved by a lot. You should definitely play this. When I first joined Pokemon Showdown, there were only around like 200 players online at any time, but now very commonly, especially in the mornings in here in Australia, there's like 1400 players easily, whereas at night there's around like 800, which is a crazy amount of players. I'm sure they've all recognized that Pokemon Showdown's better than Pokemon Online, actually, in my opinion. The standard of play. I've heard this guy who said that he's like seen so many crap players on Pokemon Online, and comes to Pokemon Showdown, loves it, and I absolutely love it. Its interface looks great. Pokemon Online, it's just like things that aren't moving. It's like playing Pokemon Heart Gold Soul Silver again after playing Black and White, because in Black and White, as you can see from this Landorus, it's moving and it looks good, whereas in Heart Gold Soul Silver, Diamond Pearl Platinum and all of that, it's just a Pokemon just sitting there not moving at all. So the interface looks great. It's pretty friendly. There's tournaments that are held randomly by people. I've made a couple of friends from playing this. This is a really good place to play Pokemon and enjoy it. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, click the like button, subscribe to my channel for more of these Pokemon battles, and thanks for watching.